What's going on, guys? Kivox here, and you're gonna hear me say that a couple of times during this video. I'm kind of just popping in right now to give you guys kind of like a heads up. There was really no planning for the next section of this. I just occasionally recorded something, and for some reason I did a new intro almost every single time. So you'll hear me say, what's going on, guys? Kivox here, probably a couple times. That being said, I am pretty much done. The only thing I am doing as of right now, as of recording this section, is bringing in the rest of my tools, trying to organize a bit, and trying to kind of figure out what I'm going to do next. So this video ends when I'm still putting on the flooring, I believe. So just if you guys want to hang out, see how much I've got done and how much of a pain in the butt this kind of was, feel free. If not, go check out the next video. If it's already out, I will link it up in the corner. So feel free to check that out. And if it's not there, it'll be linked at the end of the video, most likely. So yeah, that being said, take it away. What's going on, guys? Kivox here, and welcome to the Work in Progress shop. As you guys have been following the channel, if you have, you'll see that we've been working on this for like the last couple of years, I think now. It's been a long time, and we're like 50% of the way there, maybe. We have all the insulation up. We have most of the moisture barrier up, and like 15%, 20% maybe of the sheetrock up. We got the AC unit though. It's right there. Boom. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna just go over what we've done so far and what the plan is, and then I'm gonna go get to some work because I got a lot of work to do here today. Probably like I'm gonna do a good 8-hour shift here, and hopefully the goal for today is to finish putting the sheetrock on the ceiling and then take it. That's probably what I'm going to do today. But I got to do a couple things before that. I got to still put the plastic on the ceiling. And then I got to carry all those 12-foot pieces of sheetrock from the garage to here. So let me show you what we've done so far. Okay, so don't mind the mess, because this is the first thing I got to do today is clean up all of this and reorganize some of this stuff. But all right, so the goal here, it was we wanted to hang up this wall first because we wanted to put in the AC, because it's either super hot in here or super cold. It's one extreme or the other. Actually, right now it's pretty good, but it's very humid. But since the last time, we didn't have any of this insulation on any of this yet last time. So insulation was done on the entire building. And then we put down this membrane stuff, which is a moisture retarder. It says right there, smart vapor retarder. And basically, it's supposed to be smart enough to allow air to come through if there's too much moisture on one side, and vice versa, I believe. But anyway, I couldn't find anywhere that told me if I needed a vapor barrier or I didn't need a vapor barrier, and if I should put one in or if I shouldn't based on what I had outside. It was complicated. So I decided to put this, because if I don't need it, then it should be still okay. If I do need it, it should still be okay, right? Does that make sense? Cool. So I still have to put it on that half because I actually ran out. This actually took 100 feet of the 8-foot roll of it. So I ended up having to buy a 50-foot roll, which is right here. So I bought a 50-foot roll of the 8-foot. The 8-foot is actually 8 foot 4 inches, which is perfect because if you have 8-foot walls, it gives you that extra overhang so that you could tape them together. And the 50-foot should be fine for this because this is about 18 here, so shouldn't be an issue. The AC unit we did last weekend, and Meekachii helped me with that. I needed help definitely because we needed to hold it and stuff and slide it through, and there was a lot of like 2-man like work that needed to be done. Now, if we go outside, we will see that it pops up right here and then comes out, comes straight down over here. And then here's the unit outside. I did have some excess, so I did, that's a big old mosquito there, boy. Get out of here. So you can see the line set comes right down here and then wraps back and then comes in here. I didn't have enough. I mean, I had too much, so I had to figure out a way to make this look somewhat decent. And I think it came out pretty good. Some people say that you're not supposed to roll it up. I've seen somebody once mount it underneath, rolled horizontally, which I thought was a really good idea, but I kind of didn't have enough. I feel like there aren't enough like loops for any of the refrigerant or the oils to get caught underneath. I'm hoping that I don't have any problems with this in the future. It's been a good unit so far. I only turn it on when I'm actually gonna come in here. So I don't have it running all the time. So this is what I figured out about the Mr. Cool mini split. And I don't know if it's on every single mini split that does this, but I know for a fact that the Mr. Cool, when you have it running, so let's just say you have it in the on position, you set it to 75 degrees. The fan inside runs 24/7. Again, I'm not sure if that is a normal operating for it, but I know it is for the Mr. Cool, but I don't know if that is for every other mini split. It may be. The problem that I see with that, and for my shed in my shop that I feel like I don't need to have it running all the time, is one, it's insulated, so it shouldn't, the temperature spikes shouldn't be crazy, which they haven't been, because I usually just turn it off when I leave. And it's gonna run your fan, right? So that means that your fan's lifespan is gonna be reduced, but it won't stop working usually with fans. They'll just get a little bit noisier, a little bit more whiny. So what I end up doing is when I know I'm coming in here, I'll turn it on, or if I know it's a really, really hot day, I'll turn it on for a bit to cool it down. There's also like a dehumidifier option, or like a drying option, which is basically what ACs do anyway. They dry out the air, and that's why you need a condensate line that comes out, and I'll show you here where we put mine. So this is what we did here. So obviously the line set comes out there, comes out with the power, and then comes out with the condensate line as well. So we have it all running down here, and then I just made a little hole right there, have it zip tied there, and then we just have it coming straight down, and that's a spider web right there. There it is. And yeah, so this is the condensate here. I may kind of put some more stone here. I definitely plan on filling in this a little bit more, so this may be slightly protected by the stone. I don't think it really needs to be, but it may be. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Let's go back inside. So the big problem that we've been having here is I think either my shoulder or my face, that mark. But the problem that we were having is this is a giant piece of sheetrock, and I don't have a lot of experience with sheetrock. So Meekachii was actually helping me carry these, and I found that it's way harder to have somebody help you sometimes than do it yourself. So the last few that I've done, I've carried in by myself, as you can see from this footage of me slowly walking it over. And then the wind hits and it wobbles a bit, and I'm like, uh-oh, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna drop it. And then getting it into the building is the hardest part, because I gotta kind of lower my body down, otherwise the height of the top of it will hit the doorway. So it's a fun process, but it is a lot easier to come in by myself than with Meekachii actually helping. Bless her heart, she's helping. She's trying to help. But most of the weight becomes heavier because I'm carrying it mostly by myself, but then I'm fighting her in the back. It's just so you know, if somebody's going to help you carry sheetrock, you want them to be about as strong as you are, so that the weight is distributed well and you're not fighting each other. Just a little tip there, just because that may help you a little bit. So we actually got one of these lifts here that it does help. This is a very, very cheap one. It's like the cheapest one that I could get, and it's okay. It's not the best. It's probably not the worst. I'm hoping that it doesn't break. I have 6 more pieces I got to put on the ceiling, so I'm really hoping it isn't terrible. What's going on, guys? Kivox here, and I'm gonna do a quick little update on the progress here in the workshop. It's been a while since I made one of these, mostly because the drywall's been kind of kicking my butt a little bit. First time I've ever done any sort of drywall work. I mean, I've done little bits here and there, but it's been very little. But as you can tell, this room got a lot more echoey, and I am probably like getting toward the end of the drywall phase. I think I may have to do one more coat on this because there's a couple of spots that, you know, I've had to sand down and it just didn't come out as good as I want. I don't expect it to be perfect. I'm not a professional sheetrocker, but I've done a little bit of research. But anyway, my point is, this room is a complete mess. You know how I always kind of go over where like I need to start by cleaning and then I can start working? It's kind of what happened. Last time I was sanding the walls down, and it basically like just coated everything in dust. Basically everything in this room is completely covered, and if I move, it throws up dust. I've been wearing the respirator just because I don't want to be breathing in all this sheetrock stuff. But as you can see, let me show you here what we're looking at. Everything's pretty much here. Let me widen this up. So this room's is such a mess right now, like big time mess. But you can see the floor used to be brown, and now it is just completely covered. This really wasn't here from the last time. And this was all stuff that was pretty much in the air that settled down onto the floor. So I'm gonna do a quick little cleanup here, and then I can kind of show you guys what we're looking at for actual, like what it actually looks like. It looks very small too, now that the walls are up. It definitely looks a lot smaller than it did before, but this place is a mess. What's going on, guys? Kivox here, and we are in the shop, and it's almost ready for paint. It's almost there. We have a couple of spots that I had to touch up like this, where I still have to go back and sand a little bit more just to get it nice and smooth. I am not a sheetrocker. This is the first time I've ever had to do anything of this scale. So I'm not the best at this. So it's been a learning process, and it's been a lot of work, and it's been expensive, a lot more money than I thought I was gonna spend on this stuff. At the end of this, I'll give you, not this video, but when I'm all done, I'll give you guys a breakdown of everything that I ended up pretty much spending. Just a rough estimate. It's not gonna be exact numbers because we don't really need that because things change anyway. But we got the AC unit up, we got the drywall up, we got the insulation in. We're making some progress. So here you have it. This is the inside. We'll get a big shot of all my mess that I have here in the center of the room. But yeah, we're making some progress. I'm actually gonna put a piece of trim running all the way down the center of this here. One, because I wasn't able to get it perfectly centered. And I think covering it up with a little bit of trim will make it look a lot nicer. You can see where the two outlets are right there and there. And yeah, I mean, I think it's coming out pretty good. Hopefully I can get this done in the next couple weeks. I need to get some paint, and I'm hoping that this weekend I'll be able to get the actual drywall itself done and then start painting hopefully this week. And probably still have to do a couple of little touch-ups or, you know, fixes of a couple things to actually get it to look good. Like I said, there's only a couple of things, like this spot right here. You can see that little ridge that's right there. It's hard to show you guys this, but yeah, right there. and then a little bit there. You got to do a lot of sanding. For the pros out there that do this for a living, I know it's rough. I just need it to look okay because I just need to work in here. And I wanted to pretty much be able to, like, I just wanted to look okay, and I couldn't afford somebody to pay to come out here and pay them to do a perfect job. So I figured I'm gonna learn how to do this so I can at least do a little bit of a good job. I know it's a lot of mud. I've put a lot of mud up there. I don't know how to do a skim coat very well, so I'm not gonna mess with that. I just needed to look okay. It's gonna be white walls, so hopefully it's not as noticeable. From my understanding, white, especially if I use like not a very glossy white, it should look okay. Okay, so it's significantly later in the day. I did all of the sanding that I think I'll probably have to do a couple touch-ups, but the next step is gonna be to paint. Since we're doing drywall, or since we have the bare drywall right now, we gotta do a primer first. Do I have the thing in here? No, I don't. We gotta do a primer first. So we gotta do like a drywall primer that sets everything up so that then we can add paint. It should cover like all of the differences in the drywall itself and the thing. The problem that I'm having right now is that there's a lot of static built up on the wall, so I'm getting a lot of dust. I'm gonna actually try to spray this. I have some stuff taped up so that obviously we don't get any spray on it. I don't know what to do with the lights. I don't know if they'll be okay. I'm kind of like hesitant on, I may just take them off and move them to the other side while I work on one side and just kind of work with it that way. I think that's gonna be our best bet. I ended up getting this guy here, the Magnum Project Painter Plus. This is basically their smallest version of the style that you put the hose inside of the bucket and just pull the paint right out of the bucket. Hopefully this works and I don't get too much overspray. This is the first time I'm spraying with any of this. So therefore, I'm not gonna be teaching you guys how to set this all up. I'm gonna just try to follow the instructions as best I can and make it work and stuff. So wish me luck. We're gonna try to do the primer at least today, let it dry and then see how it is, see if we need to do any touch-ups, which I know for a fact I will have to do a couple touch-ups. It's just the nature of the beast. It's just gonna happen. That being said, let's rip this guy apart, and I guess the next time you'll see me, I'll either be done or screwed, or both, done and screwed. Well, I figured I'd show you guys this just because I look like a weirdo, but this is all I'm gonna paint. I got my sprayer ready to go there, and again, wish me luck. All right, guys, I can't really see out of my glasses, but as you can see, it's pretty much all painted, or not painted, primered, lightly primered. I gotta go back, or primed, I guess. I gotta go back and fix a couple of spots. One, I let the hose, the hose touch right here. Hopefully you guys can see that. Oh man, you can barely see that. But anyway, I let the hose touch there, and so I gotta go sand that down once it dries, and then maybe probably hit it again. I'm already seeing a couple spots that look kind of weird. I know that it's very white, so you guys can't really tell that much, but you can see it's pretty covered. Still drying in several spots, starting to get super patchy because of the drying. But that little guy, I was able to do this in, I don't know, 30 minutes maybe, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. It took longer probably to set everything up and to learn how to do it, and now I gotta clean it. It's probably gonna take me 20 minutes to clean it up and stuff. But I don't know, it was definitely worth it because I would have spent hours probably rolling this just to have to go back and roll it again. So I don't know, that thing's pretty good. It's yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, so it's the next day and we are inside of the shed. It looks decent. I mean, there's a couple of spots. Well, actually, let's turn on the light here. All right, so it's pretty much, you can see there's a couple of spots where it looks kind of patchy. I think I gotta hit it one more time. But first I have to go back and give this guy a bit of a sanding in a couple of spots, just a light sanding to smoothen everything out. There's a couple of spots that look a little bit worse than others. Maybe like right here, you may be able to see, yeah, there we go. You can see the difference here, the raised edge. There's a little bit of an edge here. This is nice and smooth, and then this is kind of fuzzy because this was the bare drywall. So we need to just go back and give this like a quick, and that should be good. Okay, so we are at a very dusty point in the thing just because I just sprayed all the walls again. The walls are still partially wet. These over here are pretty, this side's pretty dry. So you can see it's starting to look pretty good. This side over here is pretty dry too. And it's looking pretty good. So tomorrow I'll probably come back out here and hit it again with some sanding, and then we'll see how we're like what part we're at there. And then I may be able to start painting. So that's sadly where we're at right now. It's just we're getting closer. I mean, the room's almost completely, you know, it's much brighter in here. There's light everywhere, so that's great for like, you know, recording and stuff. So that's gonna be good. But yeah, that's it for today. All right, guys, so here you have it. Well, technically not here you have it. We're not done yet. There's a crazy echo in here. I feel like it's gotten worse since I painted, even though that's impossible. But we got all the lights in. We have all the outlets in, which you guys probably can't see because everything is so blown out because it's so white in here. Here, this kind of can show the room a little bit better. But yeah, it keeps blowing out parts of the wall. I wanted to have like a pretty much blank slate, and you know, starting with white walls, white ceilings is usually pretty good. I believe this wall color is Moonlight Snow or something like that, which is technically not white. So it should be pretty good. And once I get tools in here and some stuff up on the walls, it'll be a little bit better. I feel like the more I work in here, the smaller it feels. It just keeps getting smaller and smaller, even though technically it hasn't changed at all. If you guys remember, this room is 16 by 18, and I have a lot of outlets. I think it's a little excessive. I think I went a little overboard. Now that I look at it with all the outlets with nothing in front of them, it looks kind of silly, but I think it also looks kind of clean at the same time. Like I like it and dislike it at the same time. But I think once I put up some tables and stuff and have the room more furnished, I guess you can say, it'll look better. So I pretty much today have to get rid of all of this stuff that's in here, or most of it, because I actually got the flooring. I finally got some flooring for here, and I'll show you guys that once I have it a little bit more set up and once I clean up. I feel like I always end up every morning when I come out here on the weekends, I end up, all right, it's cleanup time, and now we have to go spend a bunch of time doing that. Here we go. So that's what we're doing now. Cleanup time. You guys don't really need to watch me do all of that because now it's mostly clean in here. You got almost everything out. But this is gonna be probably the hardest step of today's job, is gonna be cleaning up all of this stuff. So you can see all of that little debris and stuff there. That can't be there. So right here, I already cleaned this up. And it kind of looks the same, but you can see that there's a lot of random stuff over there. We can't put the floor down directly on this. So, because any little imperfections in the floor are gonna translate, and it shouldn't be that bad here because there really isn't that much of a difference, but all these crumbs and stuff, that can't be there. So that's what I gotta do now. I gotta just go and scrape along the floor. Realistically, I should have probably just put down some protective paper on the floor. You know, that's something I learned from this. So yeah, in the future, if you guys are ever gonna do the floor, even if the floor doesn't matter, even though it's getting covered up, it's probably a good idea to just put something down to protect it, to save you some trouble of having to go back and clean everything up as much as you do. It would probably taken me maybe a half an hour to lay some stuff down, tape it up real nice. But I thought it would have been easy enough to just sweep afterward. I didn't realize that I was gonna get, you know, drywall compound and a little bit of paint drops and stuff on there that would then cause a problem. So in the future, I'll probably do that, but hopefully I don't have to do this for a while and like pretty much ever again, because this has been such a pain in the butt to have to do this. But hopefully in the long run, it pays off. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'll show you guys in a couple of, a little bit how it looks. So I mean, yeah, you guys don't have to wait. So just check it out. It's probably been like 4 hours or something like that. It's like extra echoey now. And there's also, I'm talking very loudly. Ooh, it's 1:30 right now. I cleaned out all of this like I mentioned before. And I also, so if we look right here, you'll see that there's a couple spots here where I put in some filler to just fill in a couple of low spots. As you can see right here, like this is a little bit higher than that. I was just trying to kind of take away that little bit of a lip. I also sanded this section down a little bit more. And it seems to have helped. It's not that much of a difference. There's very little difference between the two. It's maybe like 1/18 of an inch higher in a couple of spots, like you can see right there. But it's really not that bad. So I'm going to start to lay down the underlayment now, and hopefully it goes well. I don't think I'll be able to do the entire thing today. One, I definitely won't be able to because I don't have enough of the flooring itself. I only have 10 of those boxes. So I'm guessing it's probably gonna get to like maybe here or here, because I think we need 17 boxes to do the entire floor, and realistically it's probably like 17. We'll need like one piece from that last box, unless my calculation is completely wrong. That's all we should need. It's so weird how like I feel like it's getting echoier. That being said though, I do need to let this air out a little bit more, because one, it's still dry, and I think it only takes like 15 minutes to dry, but it's still kind of fumy in here. So I'm gonna open up the door, turn on the fan, let this thing air for a little bit, and then start laying down the underlayment. It's a very thin piece to kind of just fill in the little imperfections. I'm not really worried about sound dampening. That doesn't really matter at this point. It doesn't provide any sort of insulation. They always say it does, but it's like what, 0.0001. It's garbage when it comes to insulation, but it always says makes the floor feel warmer. It's bullshit. That being said, I'm gonna get back to work, and you guys will probably see me hopefully in a little bit with all of the underlayment laid out, I guess. Maybe I should move some of this stuff out of the way. I don't know. We'll find out as I do it. All right, so I'm almost done with the underlayment. It looks like a big, like
foam mat right now. It also kind of looks a lot smaller, but all I got left is this little section right here, and then I'll be ready to start laying down the actual flooring. So yeah, just like a little quick little check-in here, and still got that crazy echo. Still got it. I'm like sweating too. Randomly started sweating. I think it's all the crawling around on the ground, but yeah, it's been fun. What time is it now? 3:20? 3:20, yeah. So I've been out here since, like, what was it? Like 9 o'clock or something like that? So yeah, things are going. They're going.
And yeah, that was where I just stopped recording. Apparently, that was the final part of the recording. So yeah, just go check out that other video if you guys are still hanging around. Like the video if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see some more progress and a little bit of some wand making and possibly some other woodworking stuff that I'm trying to get done and hopefully start doing soon. This is kind of just the beginning of these videos. Now that I'm finally done working on the main part of the shed, I can finally get back to a regular routine of videos and stuff like that. So hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one, and bye.